Hey guys, I hope you have yourself a hot cup of coffee because today I'm going to be chatting super candidly again on this channel about how to align yourself versus just simply hustling away, working super hard and burning yourself out. So if you are tuning into today's video, I just want to start off by saying you are enough. In the simplest of terms, you are enough. Actually, you're probably more than overqualified if, we're going to be truthful. But I thought I would start this video out just a little bit humble. With that being said, I wanted today's video to focus on workload, how we work more efficiently versus going full steam ahead and just burning ourselves out. So that's something that I was doing quite a lot, particularly when I first started my channel. I didn't really understand how to work efficiently in order to create a lot of content and work consistently to grow my channel. But once I realized that I could outsource different parts of the job, such as video editing, I will link my lovely editor Liam below. He actually edits quite a lot of my video when my workload is on the more busier side of things. So when I go back to traveling full time and getting back on my feet with my photography, I will definitely be outsourcing my videos more. It just makes it so much easier to connect to you guys and not lose out on the whole experience of growing my channel and creating good and worthy content. So there are lots of different ways that we can work more efficiently in order to grow and also not feel like we're working super hard, working late hours, working through the night. You know, I'm such a night owl and I have to learn how to switch off. It's been one of the hardest things for me to do, just letting go and putting my work down. I've mentioned this over on my Instagram, so if you guys aren't following already, head over there because I do chat quite a lot about workload and being more efficient and effective with my time. The key really to avoid this feeling of burnout is to work smarter rather than harder. So I actually think it's a really beneficial thing to utilize your contacts and who you know and work in a bit more of a collaborative manner. By doing this, you're actually going to outsource the knowledge and actually find people who know far more than you do about the subject or the thing that you're doing. So for instance, I could have worked for ages and ages trying to come up with great graphics when I knew that that really wasn't my forte. Outsourcing it, I got it done so much quicker and to a standard that I wanted it to be presented. And I can be quite stubborn at times. I've always been a very self-motivated person that wants to get the job done myself rather than looking to other people to get the job done. Another thing I want to mention is something that I've been trying to destroy within my subconscious myself and battle with myself, and it's this idea that we constantly have to be grinding, we constantly have to be working on something, on a project, in order to be seen as doing life successfully. I actually found this came up quite often during lockdown. It almost felt like even though we were in a pandemic, we had to be working, hustling, making TikToks, you know, filming whatever and getting on with work, despite the fact that it was so abnormal. Like, what we went through was bizarre and nothing we had ever been through and experienced before. You know, lots of people were being furloughed, people were losing their jobs, they weren't living their lives the way that they were prior to lockdown. I think that was my first real sense of hustling super hard, but not actually taking into consideration the other things that were going on in my life, kind of just going full steam ahead because it was my only way to really cope. And that's another thing that I do quite often, and it might be similar in your case. I tend to use work as a way to cope with my emotions and deal with certain things in my life. So those periods where I'm super busy are usually times when I'm dealing with lots of things emotionally as well. That's the real key here in today's video. It's all about how you can be more productive, more efficient with your time without actually burning yourself out, feeling the need to be hustling 24/7 and not actually taking a break. So go after your goals feeling as though you are enough, knowing that no matter what, if you want to outsource things, it doesn't make you any less of a hard worker. This is what people create businesses for. That's how businesses grow. If you think about some of the biggest companies out there, some of the most successful brands and companies, you will quickly realize that they don't do things by themselves. People are brought in to make a business more successful. So don't see something like outsourcing a task as a sign that you're not working hard enough to achieve your goals. So moving on to more of the spiritual side of things, aligning yourself and believing that you are able and you are capable enough to succeed without feeling like you have to be working crazy hours. And we are living in the 21st century. 2020 in itself has been a very interesting year for looking at the way that we hustle. And this year has really proven that this 9-to-5 dynamic is not necessarily efficient for everybody. And I think finding your way of doing things, finding your schedule, your dynamic is going to be far more beneficial in the longer term. Finding something that aligns with what you want in life and from life, rather than necessarily sitting there and tolerating this dynamic that is no longer serving us in a way. And I know it can be easier said than done when so many jobs out there still stick to this 9-to-5 routine and regime. But also don't forget that if you do feel like you have a skill set that you wish to share with the world, you can also start your own business and find a dynamic that works for you, work around yourself, rather than others. Now, the final message that I want to end this video on is to trust the timing of life. 2020 has been such an insane year for personal development, and sitting here in October, I feel like it has been one hell of a shit show, but in a way I do feel like it was so needed. There are so many different areas of our life which has been shaken up, and the dynamics are really being challenged right now. So we are living in such an interesting time in our lives. We are truly seeing history unfold. So although that can feel like a really uncertain feeling, and it is an uncertain situation, I want you to know that this change is coming. New things are going to be falling into place. Trusting in the timing and aligning that this is what's meant to happen is going to make you feel so much better than sitting and wallowing in this old way of life, this old way of living. I almost look at 2019 and think, wow, life was so different back then, pre-COVID, before this word even existed, before this illness ever existed. It's crazy to know that life will never quite be the same, and eventually we will come up with new ways of living life and doing things, but for now we really have to adapt, trust in the timing, align ourselves, rather than hustling too hard to the point where we are so burnt out, we are so worn out. That is the old way of thinking. We are in this new state of mind, which is going to completely shift the way we grow as a person. So that's all I have time for in today's video. I really want you guys to sound off in the comments. Let me know, do you think 2021 is going to bring about even more change? Do you think 2020 is enough change for you to handle? And how do you feel about this new dynamic? Do we need to hustle like we used to? Can we just align ourselves to our higher purpose without having to work crazy hard for the things that we desire? I really want to know your opinions, so let me know. And don't forget to head over to my Instagram, where I will be chatting way more about this over on stories and in my feed posts. Again, if you're new, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Until next time, guys, stay sweet.